Hey there everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So on this video, I want to go over why getting into wholesale in 2023 is probably the easiest time to get into wholesale in my opinion, okay? Because when you really think about it, getting into wholesale has high barriers, but once you get past those barriers, it gets so much easier. And those who aren't willing to put in the work and get past those barriers, well, it just makes it so much easier in general to get into wholesale, because everybody doesn't want to put in the work, doesn't want to put in the time. And I'm going to go over a list of a few things on, that you can improve on. And I'm just going to go over a few things that, why it makes it so much easier versus what your competition is doing. So, but without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the video. Be sure to smash the like button, drop the comment down below, and hit subscribe if you are interested in more Amazon FBA/wholesale content, all right? But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So one of the first reasons why getting into wholesale in 2023 is so easy, and this is probably the biggest barrier to 99% of Amazon sellers out there, is the fact that most Amazon sellers are just scared to call suppliers. I always get tons of DMs. I see the messages through Discords, Twitter, all the good stuff. And a lot of them are just scared. They don't know what to say to suppliers. And so because of that, they rather email suppliers, hoping to, that they look at that email and give them a response and hoping that they can open an account. Now, the problem with that is that these suppliers, they get hundreds, if not probably thousands of emails every single day, week, month. And so the chances of them actually seeing your specific email because you want to open an account is probably going to be very low, just because they're so bombarded with, a lot of work. And with that being said, it just makes it so much easier for everybody else who's willing to put in the work and actually pick up the phone. Because then you can just be like, hello, I want to open a wholesale account. May I speak to a sales rep? And literally just like that, that's all you really need to do to basically get into wholesale with contacting suppliers. But Amazon sellers are scared of picking up the phone because they're scared of being denied. They're scared of being told a no. And, you just got to understand that's part of the game, guys, okay? That doing wholesale, that's just part of the game. And you have to be willing to take a no. And so if you're willing to pick up the phone, you're willing to, actually speak to somebody, this does increase your chances, actually, because then they actually hear an actual, business owner, a person on the phone, versus just seeing a little drafty email that they received, which they may or may not have seen, okay? So if you're willing to pick up the phone, it's going to be so much easier for you guys. And if you're not willing to pick up the phone, well, you're going to have a very hard problem getting into wholesale in 2023, okay? You need to be above your competition and, put in the extra step that others aren't willing to put in. So let's get into my second reason why getting into wholesale in 2023 is so much easier. So this brings me actually back to the first one, and that's the fact that Amazon sellers don't know how to approach suppliers, okay? They don't know what to say. They don't know how to approach them correctly, because 9 out of 10 times, Amazon sellers, they're going to approach these suppliers as an Amazon seller. They don't approach them as a business owner. And when you come as a business owner, speaking business to business, then suppliers are willing to take you more serious. They see that you're about your business and they're willing to open those accounts with you. But if you come at them as an Amazon seller, that's just going to trigger them into thinking, oh, that's cringy. That's not worth the time. That's, we don't take you guys serious because you're not willing to buy inventory, And so, that lack of knowledge that Amazon sellers lack, it just makes it so much easier for those who do have that knowledge or who are willing to learn that knowledge into getting into wholesale much easier, okay? So if you're lacking the knowledge, don't be afraid to go on YouTube. Don't be afraid to buy a course. Don't be afraid to invest in a mentor. Heck, even DM me on Instagram or something like that, because, that knowledge really does come a long way. And so, if you're willing to learn that knowledge, it'll give you such a much bigger step ahead versus those who are just kind of winging it and not willing to, learn that type of knowledge, right? So that makes it so much easier to get into wholesale because of that lack of knowledge in general, right? Now, the third reason why getting into wholesale in 2023 is so much easier is that most Amazon sellers getting into wholesale, they assume that they can go with a $1,000 purchase order and really scale with that immediately, right? That their suppliers are going to take that very serious. And the bottom truth is, guys, that when it comes to wholesale, you have to think that these suppliers, they're wanting to push big volume, hence why it's called wholesale, right? They want to push volume, they want to push weight. And if you're that seller who has the capital, you have the money, and you're willing to help them move that, inventory, then you're going to be a much step ahead versus someone who, they try to make a $500 purchase order, and then that's all they're doing, okay? And that's the thing that I always tell people is that you need some type of capital, all right? You need, at the minimum, $3,000 lowest. If you have way more than that, then that just increases your chance of having an upper hand, especially when it comes to getting volume discounts, free shipping, and anything else that can really give you an advantage over your competition when it comes to wholesale. Okay, so the more money, the better. Okay, and so if you have less than $3,000, then I honestly don't believe it makes too much sense to get into wholesale, because you're going to be dealing with the competition who, they're able to make $10,000 orders, $100,000 orders, and so they're getting those discounts that you can't afford to even get right now. And so if they can get discounts and you can't get discounts, then when it comes to sharing the buy box, you guys are not going to be able to compete with them, and so then you're going to have to sell your inventory at a loss or a break even, get your capital back, and then you realize, holy crap, I actually need more money to do this wholesale thing, right? And so having capital is a huge advantage, no doubt. So if you have more capital and you're willing to put in that work to get those discounts and negotiate with suppliers, then you will have a huge advantage over someone else who does not. Okay, so that's just another reason why getting into wholesale in 2023 is just so much easier, just because of that barrier to entry alone right there. Now, the last reason why I believe wholesale is so much easier in 2023 is that 90% of Amazon sellers are not patient. I see a bunch of arbitrage sellers. They can't find a quick flip. They want to quit. They don't find the right lead. They don't have a perfect VA. Just nothing is perfect for them, right? If nothing is perfect in the first month or so, they immediately want to quit. And when it comes to wholesale, you have to be willing to be patient and actually build up a relationship with your suppliers, okay, with the sales reps that you get assigned to when you open these accounts. And so if you're not willing to be patient, you're not willing to take the time to build up that relationship, you're not willing to take the time to make a few orders a month, build up that relationship, meet your suppliers person to person, have a cup of coffee or something with them, then doing wholesale is going to be nearly impossible if you can't even do this aspect alone, because wholesale is a relationships game no matter what. Okay, you have to be willing to build up that network. You have to be willing to be patient and build up that relationship. It could take you weeks, months, probably even a year before your suppliers are even looking to look your way and actually give you some sort of discount, until you've actually proven yourself that you're willing to actually buy inventory and take this business serious. Okay, and that alone is a huge barrier to entry, just because, like I said earlier, Amazon sellers, they're lazy. A lot of them are lazy. They're impatient. They want everything quick, fast, and making money. But if you're not patient, you're not going to succeed in this. Okay, you have to be patient. You have to build that relationship. It's extremely important. Okay, that's what separates the bigger players in this game versus the ones who can break through. Okay, it's just building up that relationship. So you have to stand out. Okay, be willing to put in that work with your sales rep, because if not, yeah, like I said, it's just going to be nearly impossible. But anyways, guys, those are just a few of the tips on why getting into wholesale in 2023 has never been easier, because dude, all these barriers to entries are just barriers. Okay, if you can get past every single one of these barriers, you will immediately crush wholesale like nothing. Okay, like there's nothing stopping you at that point if you can get past all these barriers and really crush the game with wholesale. Okay, literally just do the exact opposite of what everybody else is doing, and you'll just win no matter what. All right, that easy. The first few tries, yes, are a bit hard, but once you get past those few first times, believe me, it gets so much easier, and you're gonna thank yourself that you actually did it. All right. Yeah, without further ado, guys, that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you enjoyed the video.